PC kids, and welcome to our new series, Wise. This month, we are going to be learning all about what it means to be wise, and that whenever we need wisdom, we can turn to God. This week, our big idea is wisdom comes from God, and our Bible verse is Solomon gets wisdom from 1 Kings 3, 1 through 13. Now, for our activity today, you can see that we have 3 cups here. And I wanted to know if you could tell me which of these 3 cups is full. It's kind of hard, right? When you're at your house and I'm here with these cups. But if we were in person, there's a bunch of different things that you could do to tell if these 3 cups, which one is full. You could come and you could peek inside each one and see which one has water in it. You could pick up each one and tell me which one has water in it. None of these ones, so I guess it must be this one. But there's one more thing that you could be that is easier than all of those. You could simply ask me. That's right, you could ask me which cup is full. And we're going to be learning that asking is part of having wisdom. And it's part of being wise. And now it's time for our video lesson.
Hey kids! Do you like to draw? Paint? Color? Me too! Let's draw today's story. What do you think? There was once a young king named Solomon. Even though he was young, Solomon wanted to be a good king, one that followed God and did what was right. One night, God came to Solomon in a dream and told him he could ask for anything. Anything? Wow! As king, there were so many things Solomon could ask God for. He could ask for money, or a long life, or lots of power. Solomon could ask for anything, but instead, Solomon asked for wisdom. What's wisdom? Wisdom is knowing how to make good choices. Solomon knew that if he was going to be a good leader, he had to be able to tell what was right and wrong. Solomon's request made God happy. God said,
"That's a great idea. And since you chose wisdom first, I'm going to give you wealth, a long life, and a strong kingdom as well."
To this day, Solomon is known as the wisest man that ever lived. He asked God for wisdom, and God gave it to him, because wisdom comes from God.
So, you just heard the story of how Solomon gets wisdom from 1 Kings 3, 1 through 13. We learn that Solomon was King David's son, and he loved God just like David did. One day, Solomon traveled to Canaan to place the Israelites worshipped God until the new temple was built. Later that night, God appeared to Solomon in a dream. God said, "What do you want? Ask, and I will give it to you." Solomon replied and said, "Give me an understanding heart, so that I can be a good king and know the difference between right and wrong." Basically, Solomon asked God to make him wise. God was so pleased by what Solomon asked for and said, "Because you have asked for wisdom to be a good king for my people, I will give you what you asked for, and I will give you a wise and understanding heart like no one else has ever had." Solomon wasn't selfish. He only asked God for wisdom to better lead God's people, and God gave him even more good things. Now it's time for a really fun activity. We are going to be playing a game called Wise or Not Wise. So I'm going to give you a few scenarios, and if you think it is wise, you can jump up and down and nod your head and be silly. And if you think it's not a wise decision, you can put your head in your hands like this, and shake your head no. Okay? So here is the first wise or not wise scenario. So, labeling things that belong to you. Is that wise or not wise? Okay, here's another one. Eating ice cream right before bedtime. Okay, one more. Asking a grown-up to help you put together a new toy. Is that wise or not wise? Playing around with pointy objects. Is that wise or not wise? Reading a book. Reading a book upside down. Sharing your toys with your friends. Okay, and here's the last one. Is this a wise decision or not a wise decision? Eating something that fell in the dirt. I hope you had fun with that. Maybe you and your family can think of some more wise or not wise scenarios to play with. And now it is time for our memory verse.
James 1, verse 5. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, and it will be given to you.
Will you please pray with me? Dear God, we want to always know the difference between right and wrong. Please make us wise so that we can make good choices. Thank you, amen. Thanks for joining us today. We hope to see you again soon.